Now, once you realize that more tools is actually not the answer, that a single source of truth is worth more than a dozen best-in-class tools, the question now becomes, which platform can actually do it all? And after 200 implementations, here are the 3 reasons why Atlassian is the best platform to consolidate all of your work management. Reason number 1 is the product library. With Jira, Confluence, Loom, and Atlassian Goals, you can get task management, documentation, video communication, and goal tracking all in one tight-knit ecosystem. And if you compare this to other tools, Monday does task tracking decently well, but your docs probably live in Google Docs, and your goals are probably somewhere in some spreadsheet, and your meeting recordings are probably somewhere else entirely. You're still bouncing between a whole bunch of different tools and systems. In Atlassian, these tools are deeply integrated. I can easily embed a Confluence doc directly into a Jira ticket. I can attach a Loom directly to a task. I can link a company goal to every project and subtask that supports it, giving my whole team visibility to what they're actually working towards. In most companies that do track goals, they're doing that in a separate tool that people only look at once a quarter. Now with Atlassian Goals, you can trace from your biggest company initiative all the way down to your smallest subtask. Your team actually sees how their work connects to the bigger picture. And there's one platform, there's one source of truth from your highest level goal down to your lowest level task. And that is absolutely massive. Reason number 2 is the integrated ecosystem. Consolidating into one platform doesn't mean you necessarily stop using every single other tool out there. You still probably need Slack for chat, Zoom for meeting, and you probably need some form of a CRM. The difference is how those native tools feel to your core work management system. And with Atlassian's integration, I can easily create a ticket directly from Slack. I can even update Confluence docs without leaving my chat window. And the tools feel like they're part of the same system and not separate islands. And then there's the app marketplace. Now this one is absolutely massive and has a ton of benefits. If you need time tracking, capacity planning, financial planning, Tempo is a phenomenal option for that plugs directly into Jira. And they're far less expensive than standalone tools. And then there's their API, which pretty much gives you control of all of Jira, Confluence, and all of their other tools. For example, at grid.io, we actually auto-generate an entire Jira project or Jira space every single time we onboard a new client. We add tasks, subtasks, due dates, all of those are populated from our CRM. And that would normally take hours of time. But right now, with the right automation setup, it takes just a few minutes. And because everything lives in one place, reporting actually becomes realistic. You're not pulling data from 5 different systems into one singular spreadsheet. You're clicking a button and seeing exactly where every single project currently is. Now, reason number 3, this is actually the one that surprises the most people, and it's pricing. Most people just assume that Jira is expensive. They think it's enterprise software, and it doesn't really make sense until you're a very large company. But I actually think the opposite is true. A few months ago, I did a massive pricing breakdown between Jira, Notion, Asana, Monday, Smartsheets, and every other major player in the work management space. And Jira was actually one of the cheapest options on the market for actual work management. But really the real savings isn't in the subscription cost. It's what you avoid paying later. Every single tool that you adopt today is a tool that you might have to replace tomorrow. And if you've ever migrated a CRM or a project management system, you know that that's not cheap and it is a massive headache. It costs months of work, tens of thousands of dollars, and a massive productivity hit while your team relearns everything. And the beauty of Atlassian is that it just scales so well. If you're a 10-person team or a 10,000-person team, Jira can work in both environments very, very well. You're adopting a tool that you will essentially never outgrow, which means that you're never paying the migration tax again. Real quick, I've implemented Jira for over 200 companies. By far, the #1 reason teams reach out to us is because they built what they thought was a great solution, only to realize that nobody actually ended up using it. And if that sounds familiar, that's exactly what we help you fix. We're currently taking on new projects 4 to 6 weeks out. And if you want help implementing Jira in a way that your team will actually use, hit the first link in the description below.